What's going on, people of my people? You are my people, I know the way. Welcome back, Downrange Garage. It's Devin, and we are back on the Ridgeline. Hallelujah. So, today, I'm going to get these struts pulled down and actually add in the lift kit for it now. Now, I got to change a intermediate shaft in between the transmission and passenger side front CV axle. So, we're going to do that while we're in there too, and we're going to get this thing a little bit higher. So, enough talking, let's get to work. Hey guys, alright, so this is where we're at right now. I got it back on the ground with the wheels, but notice that we have a slight issue. I went a little too meaty, but that's what I was going for. So, what I need to do next, so right down in here, really hard to see, but I'm going to jam your butt in there. You can see the pinch weld on the edge of the fender come in contact with the tire. So, before I go ahead and add the lift kit to it, sounds counterintuitive, but what I actually want to do is clearance this thing at its factory height, maybe with a little bit of squat to compensate if I'm actually driving this thing over very uneven terrain. I really don't want anything to rub, grind, or bind. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna clearance all of this stuff out in here. So that way we have plenty of room where the tire doesn't hit. Now, it's kind of odd because the factory vehicle, there's a ton of room on the front side when I had the bumper on, you know, just right about there. There's a massive gap between the front tire and the bumper, but it was super tight back here for some reason, so I don't know why Honda engineered it that way, but that's just how it is. There's no damage to the vehicle, it's symmetrical on both sides, and it seems like everything is in normal working order. Granted, I do need new lower control arms because the bushings are toast, but in that instance, it still doesn't matter because the tire is still where it's supposed to be. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and clearance all of this out, and I'm gonna have to grind and cut and do some weld work in here. So hopefully I can make short order of it, because you can kind of make out, you can see the factory pinch welds right there, spot weld down the bottom, yada, 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 so on and so forth. We're gonna end up cutting all that off, and I'm gonna have to go back through and re-weld the seam together, possibly make a cutout that slopes into the factory wheel well. We'll see when I get to that point. I'd really like to not chop it up too much, but I'm gonna do what's necessary so everything works correctly. So that's just where we're at, and I'm gonna get back to it. Here we go. All right, and we're back. So I got this clearance. Now it's sitting a little bit higher than stock, but I still think the clearance will be just fine. It's a little tight, but we still got to put the lift kit on. Now this will work for me. I'm happy with this. It just clears. I don't need a lot, and if I'm smashing the tire back into there, we got other things going on, so I'm not really going to sweat it. I hammered down the inside a little bit, and that, we'll put it down here, is, come on, yeah. There we go. So, we got it cleared off. I ended up trimming back here, and we're gonna go ahead and like that, tire's gone. And now we're gonna get in here and look at what I've done. What did you do, Daddy? All right, so unstable grounds. I'm having a hard time. So I trimmed it down to the quick right here, all the way up. Pretty much the entire pinch weld got removed right to where it turned. Right where it turned and came out. I'm bad at this today. So right in here, it's got a fold over piece that's spot welded. There's another seam weld right here. I just peeled off some of the sealer and undercoat they have on here and gently massaged it. I massaged it with a big hammer. Yeah. So I made that go back, and that gave me the clearance that I need to clear the tire. Now, I'm just looking for this not to rub, so I don't want to go super crazy with it. I don't want to cut out. I saw some other videos or photos of somebody else that's got a newer Honda Ridgeline, and they actually cut out a big section here and plated it all in. I don't really want to do that. I just need to clearance it enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim down the other side, then come back, and I'm going to weld up in here on the seam so it puts the strength back in there. I don't have to worry about anything tearing or ripping apart. Once it's all welded, I'll clean it all up. We'll go ahead and grind it down, put some paint on it. I plan on undercoating the whole thing, so we are extra protected. Extra protection. Magnum, never mind. Yeah, stuff. Let me get to it. Hey, all right, so got this side all welded up now. Nice clean weld. We cut the seam down. I seam welded it all the way up to the tab here, where I'm gonna try to install a partial part of the shield, because I'm gonna end up cutting out the piece that's here. It sticks out real far. So what's gonna end up happening in the long run is that these clips will remain, and then down here I'm probably gonna screw it into the chassis of the truck. That way it still has some kind of a shield, but it pulls it tight and I don't have to worry about anything getting in the way of the tire. So as of this point, we're going to clean it up a little bit, scuff it down, put some primer on it, seam seal it, and then I'm gonna hit it with undercoat. So once that's done, I can jump into the last part and start putting this thing back together. Yeah, get to work. What's going on, ladies and germs? Welcome back. All right, so we got the pinch weld all taken care of. Now I welded it, put the flashlight down. So I welded it up right along this seam, then grinded smooth. I went ahead and primed it, put a epoxy stuff on here because seam sealer is way out of my budget right now. So yeah, I went the next best route, but I seam sealed it up, got all the spots I needed to, got everything gooped up, and then once I had the epoxy / using seam sealer on this area right here, I went and hit it with undercoat, and it actually looks pretty great. I'm super happy with it. It almost looks like it was never there to begin with. So that makes me super happy. I'm very, very happy about that. I think I said happy enough because I'm happy. And so we got that done, which is great because next I'm gonna go through and finish double checking all my stuff that I torn down because I took a lot of stuff apart, and now it's the final button up. I already started mounting the bumper on. So, oh, it looks so good. I can't wait. We are getting very close here. Got the bumper on, sort of. Still need to put some hardware on it. And down here, we got the liners. Now, where I put that piece in is, this is the section right here that hung down and covered everything up. What I'm gonna end up doing is I'm actually going to trim away. Am I looking at the right side? I am not. Hang on a second. I lied. I'm a liar. That's better. This one. So, you can see where the tire has already made love right there. So we're gonna go ahead, and I kept this tab here. So we're gonna cut it just below the tab and then down on the inside or the outside edge of that. And I'm gonna remove probably this section right here. Yeah, gonna remove that stuff and get rid of this whole section because this is now gone and this is just in the way. So I still want to retain some of the splash shield here, which goes up between the fender and around the top. So I can retain the rest of the splash shield without issue, but right here where you can see it was obviously making contact, that's all gone, problem solved, moving on. So, I'm gonna do my best to keep what I can. I don't think I'm gonna be able to retain this one. I'll see what happens when I get to that point, but I have a very good feeling that that's so long. Hasta la pasta. See you later. Hey guys, this concludes the end of part 1 on this. Stay around for part 2. We're gonna pick up, keep on going on it. It's gonna be drawn out process on this one, but hey, hang on. All right, guys, well, there you have it. Yeah, destruction.